Hey, how you doing? It's Rosemary, Nonny here, RNK for short. I'm the prosperity coach for the spirit-driven who are determined to courageously create a business that makes them at least $5,000 every freaking month, doing the work that they are called and purposed to do. We're going to start by singing the affirmation, I always know who I am. I always know who I am. I always know what is best for me. I'm aligned with true prosperity. Here we go. Hey Mel, say hey. I always know who I am. I always know who I am. I always know what is best for me. I'm aligned with true prosperity. Hello Mel, how you doing? Good morning to you as well, my love. I always know who I am. I always know who I am. I always know what is best for me. I'm aligned with true prosperity. I'm aligned with true prosperity. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I think right now, I'm feeling a little bit both irritated and I don't know what. Irritated and annoyed. My daughter actually has nothing to do with my irritation and annoyance. My daughter turned 12 today. My oldest child. I still remember. Okay, she was born in about an hour or so. 12 years ago. I still remember becoming a mother. It was just like a, oh my gosh, basically kind of moment. So now it's like, oh my gosh, 12 years gone already. Wow. So yes, I'm feeling all excited about that. But when we were coming back, because I like to take them out on a special mommy-daughter birthday treat visit thing, first thing in the morning on their birthday. And we're coming back and I was asking her, what does she want for the year to come? In fact, during our coffee trip and everything. Asking her these questions, you know, because I want her to, I want all my princesses to be very clear about what they want out of life. Yeah, I'll tell her. I'll tell her happy birthday, Mel. I want them to be clear about what they want because there's too many of us as adults that don't know what we want because we spend most of our time just kind of going along with whatever plans anybody else had for us. And that was definitely my life for a long time. And it took some unpacking, some getting clear in order to get really clear and focused on what I actually desire for my life. And then to find the balls to go after it because that is really what I'm about to talk about here. It's just the fact that a heck of a lot of spirit-driven people, one, don't really know what they want, and two, even when they do know, in fact, no, when I say people don't want to know what they want, what I really mean is actually that they do know what they want, they just don't think they can have it, and so they don't have the balls to go after it, truth be told. Whether you're female or male, do you have the balls? I've actually just written a post about that, and I'm going to put it on the page in a minute. Because I was saying to my daughter, and she was talking about the fact that she wants to be a performer, she wants to act and sing and all this stuff, which is great, absolutely wonderful. But I am very clear with all of my children that it takes courage. It takes determination. It takes saying no to what most normal people would be saying yes to in order to focus in on the thing that you actually desire to do. Because everybody has something that they kind of want to do, but not everybody is actually willing to do what it takes to actually bring it to life. And so I was telling her this, saying, you know, honey, yeah, great. I'm for you doing all of this stuff, absolutely for you. But you must understand that not just even for performing arts and all of that stuff, but for anything anybody really wants to do is going to take a heck of a lot of effort. Most people are willing to spend a lot of time building a life doing what they don't even want to do. But when it comes to the things that they want to do, they're not willing to spend the same amount of time. They tell themselves some kind of story at the very beginning to say, oh no, well, usually, first of all, foremost, maybe your parents told you the story of, well, you can't make anything of that. Of course you can't. You can't. Entertainment, really? Come on now. You can't do anything with that. That was definitely my story. And I bought it. I bought into the nonsense, and most people do buy into the nonsense. And so then you spend most of your life working hard to build a life you don't even want. And then when someone comes to suggest to you that maybe you should start taking a few steps in the direction of what you do want, you start talking about the fact that you have no money, and you have no support, and you have no time, and you know the children need you, and your parents need you, and you're the wrong skin color, and oh, you were born in the wrong country, and oh my God, you know, God has not called me yet, and oh, I just don't know. And it's at this point I'm saying to you, do you actually remember who the fuck you are, frankly? Do you remember who you are? Do you remember who you are? Do you remember the power that dwells within you? Do you understand that you are capable of a heck of a lot more than you give yourself credit for? So we sing in this affirmation, I always know who I am. Are you really, truly feeling that? Do you really know who you are? Because if you knew who you were, would you be coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses and, oh my gosh, why I cannot do this and cannot do the other? It's not true. It's not true. You've already built a good life, okay? You've built a good enough life, you know. You've done more than a lot of people have done. All you need to do is redirect some of your efforts, some of your energies, and get creative with the resources that you do have and start creating the things that you don't have. Because I came back home and somebody on the page asked the question of, oh, well, you know, I know what I want to do, but money is the thing getting in the way of me. And it's just like, I was just blunt. I was just like, please just stop wimping out. Money is a great excuse not to do anything, but it's not true. Money can't stop anyone from doing anything. It's the truth. If some of y'all had known some of the hardships I've had around money, you know, you wouldn't even tell me that kind of nonsense excuse. Or time. People tell me about time. Oh, you know, I just don't have time. I have this. Please, please. I'm the girl or the woman who has 3 children who are always home educated. My choice, so I have no complaints. And I'm building businesses. And I'm building a life, you know, and there was a point that I was a pharmacist as well and doing all this stuff. So don't tell me about time. The question is, do you have the courage? Do you have the courage to stand your ground firmly? This is what I want out of my life. And I'm going to figure out somehow how to make it work. I know, it's easy. You know, people can you can look at anybody. It's like you can look at all these celebrities or whatever and say to yourself, it's easy for them. They had a silver spoon in their mouth and something was handed to them. Oh, it's because they're blonde and beautiful or blah, 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 blah. But then I always think, yeah, but where were you when they were struggling and when they were doing the work and when they were, you know, dyeing their hair blonde in order to become blonde? And all of that stuff, and doing the stuff that most people will not do. And unfortunately, and this makes me sad at times, that a lot of spirit-driven people will not do what it takes. They will not find the courage, even though we know that we contain the divine. We have an advantage. We have an advantage. We know that there's no limit to what is possible when we set our mind to something. We know that with faith, anything is possible. We know this. And yet, most spirit-driven people are just not courageous enough to rise up and actually stay on course until they get to the end. And I get it, you know, sometimes in the middle of the journey, it feels so tough at times that you begin to tell yourself that, oh, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I wasn't called to do this. Maybe it's just a fantasy. Maybe it was just a dream. And, you know, I've said that kind of stuff to myself, except I had the wisdom to keep going anyway. I had the wisdom, actually, what I had the wisdom to do was find people who would tell me that you are fine. This is fine. This is part of the journey. So I put myself in situations, because before I used to, Before I used to dabble. So I'd be dabbling about on my own, and then you tell people who are not really into what you want. So when you start telling them about how it's really hard at the moment, they say, why are you even doing it? Why are you doing it? Just relax. Your life is okay. Just relax. You don't need to do that. You're a pharmacist. Why do you need to do that? And so they tell you this stuff. And then you start telling yourself, it's true, you know. Maybe I'm not cut out for business. Maybe I shouldn't bother doing this. I'll just relax. And so then you start relaxing. But when I got serious, I found mentors. I found people around me. So when I start talking, it's so hard, they say, yes, it's hard. Let's carry on. Basically, and there's a difference. And so then you suddenly realize you're not the only one doing this stuff. But when you are the only one, I get it. It can be hard. It can be like, am I crazy to think that I can make this work? Well, yeah, we are kind of crazy. Yeah, so what? You have to be crazy to do anything significant on this planet. You have to be crazy. And this is a kind of word, and I say it, I do say it a lot. I would like to believe that I'm a very honest person with you guys. However, I also know it's not what people want to hear. You want to hear about how you can press this button and press the other button and just say these words, and oh my gosh, your vision is going to come to life. And oh no, if you just pray this right prayer and we just affirm this right affirmation, then suddenly everything is going to be working. Really? Really? We say we don't want that kind of stuff. We don't want to get rich quick, but the truth is we do. And I have nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting life to be easier. Absolutely. But if you make ease the priority over freedom, you'll never have freedom or ease. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing. Well, you kind of have ease, I suppose. You can settle into a life doing what you're not supposed to be doing, and you can try and pretend that you're happy. And most people do. Most people then end up on all kinds of drugs, trying to kind of keep themselves mellow, or they're on all kinds of religious trips and meditations and mindfulnesses, just trying to keep themselves happy in a life that isn't theirs. Isn't there? So I had an email from someone today who said, oh, it's not all about money and success, but please call me and speak to me because I feel really agitated about this, that, and the other. And I was almost tempted to call because I want to give and I want to help, but I knew that it was going to be a pointless conversation. Why? Because they don't actually want to move forward. One of the reasons why they're feeling the way they're feeling is because they're living a life that they're not supposed to be living. Okay, and that's it, and that's it. And most people don't want to admit that the reason why they're feeling depressed, or the reason why they're feeling anxious, or the reason why they're feeling whatever, is because they're actually trying to force themselves into a life that doesn't feel good to them because it's not supposed to be the life that's supposed to be living. They're supposed to be living their vision life, but they're too scared to live their vision life, and so they try to fit themselves into a life that doesn't feel good. And then they wonder why they don't feel good. Now, I'm not going to pretend that being on this purpose journey doesn't sometimes feel quite anxiety inducing. Yes, it does. But then you remember what you're doing this for. And yeah, you put yourself in a place where you're getting support. So you're not the only freaking person thinking these thoughts and wondering if you're going crazy. It's, you are more powerful than you realize. That's all I really want you to know. I know I've said all of this, and it might sound harsh, or maybe it sounds, or maybe for some of you it'll be inspiring. I hope it is for some of you, for the right people. But for some of you, it will be, oh my gosh, she just doesn't understand my story. Yeah, okay, if you want to keep your story, keep it forever. If you want to, that's up to you. You get to, you're still loved, you're still absolutely loved. You just won't get to live the life that you could live. A life of freedom, a life of fulfillment, a life of financial abundance, and a life of love. That could be yours. It is your divine right if you will boldly claim it. If you will find the courage to walk the narrow path. But if not, then you get what you get, I suppose. You'll still be loved. You'll still be loved. There's no, nothing will separate you from love ever. You're still loved. You may not feel it because you'll be living some kind of crazy life. I don't know. Ultimately. So this is it. We're singing this affirmation this week. I always know who I am. Please remember who you are. This is something when I'm dropping my daughter off at some of her activities, I say as she's leaving the car, remember who you are, honey. Remember who you are. And I sometimes ask her, who are you? And then she has to tell me. She has to tell me all kinds of positive things about herself before she goes in there, because I want her to remember that she's a night chick. She's a night chick. She's not the same as anybody else. Okay? Basically, I want her to own that. I want them all to own that, so I make sure I'm telling them this regularly. And I'm telling you too, as spirit-driven souls, you are powerful beyond what you've even allowed yourself to experience to date. Wake the heck up. There is so much more. Money, seriously, money doesn't get to tell you what to do. Money doesn't get to tell you what to do. Too many of you are living your lives telling yourself you're not motivated by money, but you are, because everything you do is based on, can I afford it? Can I not afford it? Oh, I better just go to that job because at least it pays me. All your life is about money, and you're telling yourself you're not money motivated. Really? Really? And then there's the others with, okay, I kind of have some money, but I don't have time because in order to get that money, I'm working all the hours I got sent. And well, that's just the way life is. Okay? Unfortunately, but unfortunately, whatever you choose to believe will be real for you. Absolutely. You get to choose the life that you create. And so whatever you keep declaring and affirming as your truth, no matter how real you think it's out there, you are the one that created it. You are the one that created it. So if you choose to continue creating a life that says, I have to do stuff for money. You will always have to do stuff for money. If you want to continue creating a life where you have no time because you're so busy, so you can't do the things that you really want to do, that will be your life because you are powerful enough to create that. You just don't realize you're creating it. You think that it's something outside of you that is making it happen. It's not true. It is you. You are the one that is deciding how your life plays out. Are you being deliberate about this? Are you being deliberate about this? Anyway, as I said at the beginning, I get irritated. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and I get judgmental. I'll be honest, I do. Because I know what it takes to walk this path. And sometimes when I hear people speaking, I'm thinking, oh, honey, really? Really, you who's created in the image and likeness of the divine? Really? You're going to say that? You're going to act in that way? Really? Okay, well, okay. I'm called to those who are determined to shift, those who are determined to move, those who do want to see their dreams come to life, those who do want to build online businesses that give them freedom, financial abundance, fulfillment. Those are the people I'm called to, and it's you I'm speaking to if it is you. And if it is you, you need to come and join me in the Opulent Circle, okay? Because, why? Yeah, you get all the training. You get all the training and everything, all the training programs I've done, business training programs, all that stuff. You get all of that for sure. But that's not why. Though yes, it's part of why, but it's not the main why. The main why is because you need to be around people who are doing what you want to do. Because you're surrounded and immersed in an environment that does not support your vision. You are immersed in an environment that tells you that it's a fallacy and a dream and a delusion to think that the vision inside of you is actually your permission to go forward. You need to change your environment, and you can start with the Opulent Circle. You can get deliberate about being in a place that you can ask questions, and you can also realize that you can share what is going on with you and know that nobody's just going to humor you. We're going to help you stay on path and move forward. That is why one of the reasons why I created the Opulent Circle. It really is because I don't believe that there's some kind of push button success. Yes, there is inner work to do. Yes, there is outer work to do, but there's no push button success here. There is no button you're going to press that will suddenly make you prosperous in all areas of your life. No, there is a journey. And on that journey, there's too many opportunities for you to run away. Because you're telling yourself a story and there's nobody around you to say you are talking nonsense. Stay on path. So that's why you make the decision to put yourself in an environment that supports your moving forward. So yeah, I invite you to the Opulent Circle with everything inside of me because I know what this journey takes. I know the darkness we sometimes face in order to break through to the light. I know. So if you're done with messing around and dabbling, you come and join me in the Opulent Circle. But hey, maybe you just want your ears to be itched every so often and you just feel a bit enthusiastic for a bit and a bit inspired until you go back to your normal life and think, oh well, that was a good dream, but so this is real life. Okay, well, that's up to you. I'm gonna finish by singing this, my loves, okay? I hope you remember who you are for real. I always know who I am. I always know who I am. I always know what is best for me. I'm aligned with true prosperity. I always know who I am. I always know. Guys, I really do. Okay, I love you guys, and I love seeing people come alive for real. Oh yeah, I'm committed to this cause, so come along if you're ready. Much amazing love. Share this with someone else, okay? Until the next time.